Hey everyone, welcome back to the second episode of the podcast. I'm Big.
And I'm Blizz, and this is the Big and Blizz podcast. So there's a lot of sporting news to go over since just last week when we last talked to y'all. For instance, Big, have you seen that there's been 4 no-hitters in the MLB since the season started?
No,
just
I didn't.
A month ago?
No, I didn't see that. But I did see something the other day that has players and GMs mad about a rule. They want the rule changed.
What's that? I haven't heard anything about this.
So John Means, pitcher for the Orioles, perfect game is 27 up, 27 down.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
He did that.
A perfect game. Not because no-hitters are hard enough to come by.
He did 27 up, 27 down. So literally never messed up the batting order. Didn't get a perfect game.
What was the controversy? What happened? What?
He struck out a guy in the third inning.
Okay.
His catcher, the ball went past him. Mm-hmm. And in the MLB, if you strike out and the ball rolls away, you can run to first.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. I never knew what the rule.
And so if you get there, you're considered a base runner.
Yeah.
But the out still is recorded.
So that's like how? I would just almost give him the no hitter with an asterisk, or I mean the perfect, but no,
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
So
bro.
technically, in a technicality, because a perfect game is considered no base runners,
but it's also considered 27 up, 27 down. So which one did they go with? They went with
no base runners.
Of course they did. They're gonna do what? Wow.
Yeah, they went with the no base runners.
Wow. I mean,
because he ended with 13 strikeouts or something. 12 strikeouts, no walks. And
no hits.
No hits, no nothing. The only guy that got on base was because his catcher
of the technicality. He
threw a breaking ball and it went down and out the zone. Dude swung, and then his catcher just didn't block, and it didn't just roll slightly away. It almost got all the way back.
Okay, so it wasn't the catcher didn't block. It does happen, but the catcher, he wasn't lazy about going after the ball.
Oh no, he ran after it.
Okay,
he ran after it.
He wasn't thinking, okay, dude's out. It's not that big of a deal.
No,
but
he made a play, but literally it went. When I watched the clip, it went down from. I'm moving my hands like y'all can see. But it went top right and came hard down to the bottom left. And it 5-holed him right between the legs.
Damn.
And it rolled because they're in T-Mobile Park there.
It's got a big backstop, doesn't it?
It's got a brick backstop, and it rolled almost all the way to the backstop.
And it's quite a distance, right? It's one of those parks that has.
And so he chased it, but there was just so much movement and spin. By the time he got onto it, guy was on first base, and
that's terrible, man. I can only imagine. That's crazy. That's crazy. So did the team and the pitcher, did they play it did they know right there? No, because he still went. Did they play it like he was still in the middle of a perfect game?
I don't know.
Did he realize what the magnitude of that was at that moment?
You know what's even crazier?
What's that?
Not only did dude strike out, that's one out.
Yeah. He
was thrown out trying to steal second shortly after. So that one base runner
was out twice in
one inning.
So he was out twice, but on base in one. That's great. That's great. And without going through the rotation.
dude didn't get a perfect game. He got a no-no. So he's one of those 4 no-nos. But
yeah, but that's that. Yeah.
But off of technical, and so since then, players have been asking for this rule to change.
Yeah. But in retrospect, they don't go back. I mean, it wouldn't even matter. But when the NBA, Matt Barnes and Stack on all the Smoke podcasts, amazing podcasts. I watch them, But it's nice to see ex-players do a podcast because you get the real insight in the dirt of shit, and
especially from Matt Barnes.
Yeah,
and
Stack, Steven Jackson, bro. I mean, talking about shooting him up at the nightclub and when he played for Indiana, the Pacers. Getting his teeth knocked out, hit by the car. The story he told on that was crazy. All fake teeth because of it. Oh yeah, there's some real ones. But just talking about what they call it, when they get the letter from the front office after every game, and it says, "Oh, we fucked up on this," or "We fucked up on that." Basically,
the apology,
I can't remember what he called it. It's basically
apology letter.
Matt McAfee talks about the Tuesday morning letter from the front office of the NFL. But they'll admit a lot of times when they fucked up and blew a call. Like this case, it's not blowing a call; it's a stupid fucking rule that needs to be changed. But you know what I mean? Like the front office, when a ref or an ump or whatever blows a call, they'll be like, "Hey, we fucked up. Sorry about it," and shit. And we discussed this last week on the podcast, but this could have tremendous effects on playoff implications. Like, you know what I'm saying? It might knock a team out of the playoffs because the refs fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
And they apologize for it and say they fucked up, but it's not like, okay, you're in. Like, you know, we fucked up, you're in. You know, we're putting you in the playoffs. It's we fucked up, but sorry about it. Sorry about your luck, you know? It's terrible. There should be a rule like that, too. If the refs obviously fuck up, the front office investigates, they see it, then it should change the outcome of what that shit was. If it's something like that they don't have to go and run a play again on, you know?
Oh, yeah, but you know what would happen is teams would be appealing every call they didn't fucking like.
Yeah, well, they do it already, shit.
And that's the thing is, like, refs, umps, whatever, they're human.
Yeah.
But when it's blatant...
Some egregious ass call.
I personally think, and I understand, like, if you really look into it, most of these umps and referees and all this, they're not full-time employees.
No.
Some of them are lawyers.
Yeah.
Like doctors, teachers. Like they do umping and stuff it makes them good money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's not their full-time job. So when they're not umping, they're doing their 9 to 5.
Yeah.
What I believe every sport needs to do.
Penalize them like players get penalized.
But to penalize them, I think they need to have contracts with the league.
Absolutely.
So it's not like, hey, bro, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're going to be in the courtroom. Mm-hmm. Thursday, I need you in Chicago to call a White Sox game. Yeah. No, it should be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're watching film. Uh-huh. You're reading. You're having to take tests on, was that a ball? Was that a strike?
Learn new rules.
Learn the new rules.
Learn the old rules.
Well, speaking of new rules, there's a new extra inning rule in baseball. Did you know?
No. I need to brush my shit up bad.
Well, the reason I bring this up is because the manager, he's been... I can't even think of his name. He was off for a couple years. Mm-hmm. Came back, got brought in. So in extra innings in the MLB now, they put people on base to start the inning.
What?
Yeah.
Are they trying to speed baseball up? Is that
so they're trying to make extra innings more interesting.
Oh, my God.
And so the thing is, the rule reads as the last out in the previous inning gets to start on second base.
What?
Unless that last out was a pitcher. Mm-hmm. So say your pitcher was in your 5 spot.
Yeah.
Which nobody puts their pitcher in the 5 spot. Whatever. Say he's in the 5 spot. And then, if it's the pitcher doesn't have to go to second base. The person above them, so whoever's in the 4 spot, goes.
Okay.
The manager, which I want to say is LaRusso.
Who for the LA for the Dodgers?
I want to say it was him. I may be wrong. He being out of the league for a couple of years. Mm-hmm.
He didn't know this?
He didn't know. He knew that you could send someone... The last out went to second.
Okay. But I was going to say, what if they lined him up? They came out, okay, it's overtime. Dude's on second. Like, what the fuck?
No. What he
didn't watch baseball when he was out of the league. He took a real vacation from it.
What he did is he didn't realize he could switch out... He could switch out the pitcher for the guy before him. So the closing pitcher, who hit the last time dude was on base, mind you, this is only second time in the MLB dude's been on base.
Oh my!
Last time dude was on base was in 2015. He's on second base in the top of the 11th inning, I believe.
Oh no!
Closing pitcher on second base, and I don't know if it was LaRusso because the guy above him was Jose Abreu. That's who would have been on base.
Oh fuck.
So you have Jose Abreu or your closing pitcher.
Yeah, who are you gonna pick?
And the manager sends the closing pitcher because that's how he read the rule. He didn't fully understand.
You know the other team manager and players were like, "Oh shit, don't tell him. Don't say shit. Don't say shit. Don't say shit. Let him be."
And so what ended up happening is somehow closer got to third base.
Oh wow! First time in history, probably.
Dude, some guy ended up on first. I think it was a single. And then they struck someone out. And so the manager decided,
Please
hey,
tell me the pitcher stole home.
no. So the manager signaled for first to steal because he's like, oh, they ain't gonna throw him down because they're gonna be worried about the dude on third.
No, they're not. It's a pitcher.
But that's the thing. It was the closing pitcher. So guess what? They said like this. Bang! Gunned him out at second. Ended up closing out the inning and then winning in the bottom of the inning.
Damn.
When if Jose Abreu would have been on third, they wouldn't have gunned him out and they would have had two dudes in scoring position.
Yeah. Wow. So how mad was, let's say, LaRusso for the sake of the conversation, just because you're not sure if it's him or not. How mad was he?
Oh,
furious. He's already a mad fucking manager in general.
Some big name, like older guy came and said, what is this? That's a softball rule. We play baseball. Why is that even a rule? Why can you even put people on base to start an inning? And like I didn't hear much from the manager, but from one of his players that's on his team came to back him up and said,
it's true, though.
He said, why are we introducing all these softball rules? He's like, we don't play softball.
They're trying to speed the league up. And you know how many...
Well, I mean, Pat McAfee
purists,
says that.
Yeah, exactly. And there's going to be so many purists that don't want to see it, you know? But there's a lot of purists in every aspect of the world right now that don't want to see change, you know? That no matter what you believe in, no matter what your political view is, there's somebody, you know, there's people in every aspect of it that don't want to see change. And, you know, sometimes change is good, sometimes it's not. So, I mean, but I don't know. I think with baseball, like we talked about, didn't we talk about that last week? About just letting him get jacked up on steroids?
Yeah, we did.
And just have, you know, it'd be like a home run derby pretty much.
Be
but
like
who knows?
Slugfest.
That outfielder might have super hops. I'm able to jump up and take stuff down.
That Willie Mays catch looked like nothing but a thing.
Right, Bo Jackson running up the wall.
But that's pussy shit. It's like that old game.
Hold my beer.
It's like that old game called Slugfest.
Yes.
Where you could literally punch dudes off the bag. And
it's like an NFL Blitz on Nintendo 64. That was my shit. But anyways, enough with the nostalgia. But yeah, I mean, you've got to have change. There's a lot of people that just think, and McAfee's one of them, that thinks baseball is just boring. And a lot of people think it's boring to watch. I love to watch it personally. I love it to watch it on TV. Live is always the best. You can feed off the energy of the crowd. But I love baseball. But I know that it's not one of the most popular sports in the sense of watching viewership.
I just feel like baseball, it's checkers to chess.
Yeah. It's all strategy.
Like people don't see it, and if you don't pay attention, you don't watch it. They're just like they're just
interest.
hitting a ball. Woo.
Well, it's like they say about NASCAR. It's all left turns. I used to think that, and then I, had the neighbor, across the street, started teaching me the ins and outs, and then our what we call brother Cameron, started teaching me the ins and outs, and it got more appealing, got more fun. Hockey, a lot of people don't like. Oh, there's on ice skating, you with the puck. You start watching it, and it gets intense. But
and that's the thing is like you don't look into those things like. Travis Pastrana recently has gotten into driving NASCAR.
Oh yeah.
And he's talked about what you don't realize is when you're driving in a NASCAR, and when you're driving in that sprint car,
you gotta be an athlete.
The problem is you don't realize, and in his first race, he actually almost got beat up, like jumped by a bunch of the drivers.
There's no margin for error.
Because you don't even have to touch someone.
Yeah,
there's so much wind moving around your car and their car that you just get close, your wind bubble will shove them off their line into another guy and shove him off his line, and it turns into this big accident. And he was talking about, I think it was on a YouTube video or a podcast he was asked to be on, and he literally, after his first race, was shell-shocked on what the fuck just happened.
Yeah.
And while he's sitting there trying to figure out what happened,
he's getting
3 or 4 dudes tore their helmets off and came barreling at him because he just wrecked them.
Yeah.
And he's like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm used to racing like dirt bikes and stuff that
you
doesn't
actually have to make contact.
And he's like, even when you do rally and stuff, like you don't have that wind bubble.
No, you have gaps.
Yeah.
They don't start you all together,
And he's like, and you just drive, and he's like, if you do get close to someone, like there's not that wind bubble because you're going up and down speed wise, and you're going sideways.
There's no aerodynamics.
He's just like he's like aerodynamics don't come into play, but he's like what people don't realize is there's a lot of science that goes into.
Hell yeah. The aerodynamics have to be
aerodynamics of that.
They have to be within millimeters or whatnot, or you get fined and penalized. But for our listeners that don't know jack about NASCAR, not saying that I know a whole hell of a lot. I know very little, or think that it's all left hand. It is left hand turns. Don't get me wrong. This is road course, but think that it's just simple driving. Now imagine yourself being on the freeway in a metropolitan city where you live, okay, and bumper to bumper traffic, say.
4 lanes wide.
5 lanes wide at 70 miles an hour. How white knuckle that is sometimes. But then magnify that by putting another 130 miles per hour on top of it and closing the gaps between your car and the other people's car on the freeway. To where you're 2 inches apart. Think about that. 200 miles an hour, only a few inches between the sides of your car and others, and bumper to bumper, inches. And think about, picture yourself in rush hour, bumper to bumper, 70 miles per hour, and then magnify that. That's crazy.
And Travis goes on to say something like, literally, when you look at the track, you can fit, he said, it literally is the track they were on. He says it's barely bigger than 3 cars wide. And they're running 4 wide. He's like, I don't know how the hell they do it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm trying to learn because I'm just a motorsports guy. But he's like, when it's barely bigger than 3 wide and they're running 4 wide.
That's crazy.
He's like,
there's no room, no margin for error.
Literally they're on the edge of everything.
Yeah.
And he's like, these guys are doing things that you can't even realize until you get into the science of it.
Yeah. Well, and 99% of the drivers that are in NASCAR had to work their way up from freaking driving little stock, outlaw carts at they most have been driving since 3 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Graduating from dirt to pavement, going through the lower cup classes, the sprint, whatever.
Driving the trucks.
Yes.
And then the slower sprint cars.
Yes.
And then they finally got to
NASCAR, or whatever. I don't know all the terminology of it, but these fucking people have been driving. The 22-year-old driver that starts at 22 years old has already got 19 years under his belt most of the time of driving.
Yeah.
He
was doing 100. Most of these guys are doing 100 miles an hour before they can even legally have a driver's
10
license.
years old. And knowing how to maneuver out of crashes and around people, it's
like the same thing with golf.
Yeah.
Everybody says, "Oh, golf's so easy."
You hit a ball with the stick, and then you get in a car and drive to it.
But
there's so much science on that too.
They said, I watched the thing because Tigers had to have so many knee injuries.
Yeah, I watched that. I've seen something.
They said literally, when you swing as hard as guys like Tiger and all the big guys do,
golf clubs bend while they're swinging.
Yeah, and they say that. It's like the G force that lands on your plant foot, whichever hand you are, right, left.
Yeah, the front knee.
Whatever your front knee is, it's like a car crash, G force wise, every time you drive the ball.
Yeah,
and that's why Tiger's had 9 knee surgeries over his career or whatever.
And then he wrecks his SUV doing 80.
Yeah, but yeah, they say it's literally the G force on it is almost like a car crash every time you drive. So 18 times.
Yeah,
and then.
That's just the physicalness of driving a ball.
Yeah.
That's not mentioning the science that goes behind your swing. You also have to have your arms. You have to work out your arms because by the end of 18 holes, your shit's going to be jelly or jello if you don't work out. And they say running backs, every time a running back and a defender hit, it's the equivalent of a head-to-head 40-mile-an-hour car crash. But speaking of that, I know we've talked about this because our brother David brings this up a lot, so you know where this is going. Do you know what's the terminology? The most what is it? The athlete that takes the most punishment as an athlete, like the ones that have to be in the best shape, with the most grueling,
the most taxing sport to play.
Do you know what it is? Sport. It's.
If David's bringing it up, it's motocross.
Motocross, and it is motocross. We looked into it, him and I. One night, and it from what a lot of different
science
says is motocross riders. So you got to think of all the weight on the wrists, keeping your core because you have to squeeze, tighten your core going over the whoops, taking the turns where your knees almost touching the ground and all that.
I mean, if you look at it this way,
they blow out their ACLs riding motocross.
All the time,
coming off these high jumps, landing.
Well, then the thing is, if you look at it this way, let's not talk about the homeboy at the local course driving amateur.
Yeah.
But if you look at these guys that are winning Supercross and motocross and all the other stuff, name one guy that's out of shape.
No, you can't be. You can't.
Name one dude that has a beer belly.
Well, show me one, and I'll show you one who comes in last place.
Exactly.
You know?
He's the guy who, like, he had enough money to buy his pro car, had enough money to buy him in. He said, I got this. Pros versus Joe's style, baby.
It's independent. They need to come back out with Pros versus Joe's.
Hey, that was the business.
There's a lot of people I want to see get smacked in the mouth. You know, LeVar Ball, a lot of people love and hate, but him and the I can beat Michael Jordan 101 in his prime. Like, I just want to see him get smacked in the mouth in Pros versus Joe's. And you know he would try.
Get crossed up by MJ because MJ just comes out and just...
He would try and be like, I just ate. I can't, you know?
Yeah,
MJ comes out.
Can't swim for 30 minutes.
Still dunking at almost 60 years old. Oh, that's terrible. But, okay, now that we segued into the Ball family... Rookie of the Year, the NBA. Do you think that LaMelo did enough to win it?
I think...
What was he averaging? 13 points, 4 assists, and like 5 rebounds, or vice versa?
I think, for one, they managed him too much.
Yeah.
He should have been starting, maybe not right off the rip.
Yeah, but
after he showed what he could do, he should have been starting.
Did we talk about this last week?
No.
No, okay.
Secondly,
I don't want to, go over shit that we already beat.
Secondly... The team with him on the floor is a lot better than him without.
Yes.
And to me, his numbers are Rookie of the Year. Even though he's missed a ton of time, his numbers are Rookie of the Year numbers.
I agree.
And the biggest point I have is from his injury, his team is nowhere near as good.
Yep.
As when he was on the team.
He's a facilitator.
Whether he was starting or not, coming off the bench. He's better.
Yeah.
The team's better.
He's a true point guard.
And he's
a true point guard.
And I said this for a long time, and I used to call it a hot take, but it's not a hot take anymore.
No. He's the best.
He's the best out of the trio.
Absolutely.
I think
Lonzo should be a bench player somewhere. He's a starter and good for him.
I think Lonzo, and I say this all the time.
He could be a sixth man of the year.
Lonzo reminds me of J. Kidd.
Yeah.
But this isn't the J. Kidd era.
No.
You can't... J. Kidd, great ball player, but J. Kidd is not the point guard this NBA wants to see.
No.
They don't want to see a guy, and I respect a team that lets him start and lets him do his thing. That Lonzo does. And as a Lakers fan, I was sad to see him go because I know that he is J. Kidd.
And his heart was in L.A.
I personally feel that he's like the second coming of J. Kidd.
I just think Jason Kidd had a better shot, though. He was more accurate. But yes,
Lonzo's shot has come a long way.
It has. It's come a long way, but it's still not where Jason Kidd's.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, I agree with you.
It's very slow.
Style.
It's just very slow and methodical, and that's just not this league. That's just not this league.
It's a bang bast league. Shoot it half court almost now.
And
when you got bigs, when you got 7-footers hitting 3-pointers, like that's what they do. Like back 90s and early 2000s, half the freaking bigs couldn't hit a free throw, let alone a 3-pointer. Shaq's got one in his whole career.
He's got one, and he shot. I think his percentage is 25.
He only tried twice, I think, and hit one.
I think his percentage is like 25%. I think he's 1 for 4 or something like that.
And then Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee.
But Anthony Davis the other night, guess who hit a 3 to win the game?
I seen this stat. Well, same when he was in the bubble in the playoffs, he hit a 3 to win the game, a big game, a closeout game. So check this out. I seen this stat. I believe on IG. Okay, it was a side-by-side comparison. It was a picture of AD, Anthony Davis, when he was a rookie, and now, and the stat under the rookie was he hit 0 threes his rookie season. Mind you, he took some. He's hit 82 threes this season. That's not big numbers, but for a big, big numbers. For him, he's obviously worked on his 3-point shot in the offseason every year.
Well, I mean, you have to think about it. Which big in the league cannot at least be semi-threat from there?
Yeah, there's a couple, but not many. Out of 30 teams now?
Okay, but what I'm saying is, like, okay, if you can't, okay, cool.
But you better be a big body and bang the boards.
And that's just not this league.
It's not. So look at Taco Fall. What is he, 7'6", 7'7"? He hits threes. Manute Bol's son, he hits threes. Manute Bol would never even attempt a three. His son...
If Manute Bol would have gone out to the three-point line and attempted a three,
his coaches
would have...
He was benched.
And that's the thing is, the craziest thing about it is, it's not even that long ago that it was people had that mentality. When I played basketball in high school, coaches still had that mentality where if you're a big,
you bang the glass.
You had no reason to be out at the 3-point line. None.
Yep.
Whatsoever.
I know it. And
but now, if they don't have some way to get you the ball out there and you make a play, then you're useless because you're a one-trick pony.
Well, and then every team is big with three-pointers now, so you have to be able to close the gap with more three-pointers.
Imagine Gilbert Arenas in this type of league.
I love Gilbert Arenas. Shout out to Gilbert Arenas.
This man was Stephen Curry before Stephen Curry was Stephen Curry.
Yes.
8-0 was the dude walk up, barely past the logo, hit the shot, turn around, and
he wouldn't even hit the shot. He would shoot the shot. Ball is barely hitting its peak in the air. Turn around, put his hands out, look at the other.
Yeah, he didn't care.
No, he didn't. Well, he finessed the league too. He said he played 15 games for like $80 million or some shit. Mm-hmm. I love Agent Zero. Hibachi. He is one of my favorite. Not one of my favorite players. One of my favorite people in the fucking world. His sense of humor is ridiculous. If you ever watch clips between him and Nick Young, who was his rookie, oh my god, the way they go back and forth and how Gilbert Arenas punks his Nick's Swaggy's son. Oh my god, I love Agent Zero. And what's his podcast, No Chill Gil. Shout out to No Chill Gil podcast.
Yeah.
Agent Zero. Shout out to Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Stack from All the Smoke. Dude, I as much as I love to make these podcasts, I love to watch them as well. But it's nice to see the point of view from the players themselves, like I said earlier. But as we were talking about Bol and Manute Bol, I got mixed up with LeVar and them. I'm sure you've seen, but he's from Sudan, right? Manute Bol was Bol's dad, and he came over. It was some real janky shit. Not a promoter, but a person helped him get over here.
Like an agent?
Yeah, like he would have been a refugee over there. Got him over here and got him in the NBA and a tryout and stuff, and which was a great thing, but they forged documents, his birth certificate and shit. So when he came over and he was, don't mark my words, I think he was supposedly in his 20s when he started playing. There's speculation, and a lot of people, there's damn near proof that he was actually in his 40s or late 30s when he started in the league, and everybody thought he was in his early or mid-20s. So there was games where people thought he was in his 30s and he was aging as a player, and he was actually in his fucking 50s. There's a player, and I can't think of his name, but he said that he sat next to him on the bench one time, and he had all these marks. I can't remember if they were on his head or a part of his body, and he asked him what they were. And I think he said something about age, in their culture. It's something like that. I don't want to mix shit up. People can Google it. We can Google it. But yeah, his closest people to him that on the teams said that he was actually 20 years older, or 15 to 20 years older when he started than what people thought he was and what they said he was. Yeah. Also, I can't think of the beer. I want to say, I'm just going to say Heineken for the sake of the story. But when they weren't playing, Manute Bol would walk around almost butt naked with a beer in his hand because the trainers wanted to put on weight so bad that he wasn't out, working out and eating right. They were trying to bulk him up, so he would always be drinking hella beer and all this shit.
Funny.
Well, that's funny. They also said that he tied his meat in a knot in the locker room. I know this, pause, but there's stories from, was it Richard, somebody saying that Manute Bol had tied his thing in a knot. It was so big, and that he had to wear special stuff under his shorts to keep it from coming out the bottom. And yes, Manute Bol, if you ever see him back in his playing days, he had short shorts, but they said he could have worn the full length shorts that today's players wear, and it would still fall off the bottom. That's crazy, bro. Can you imagine playing, and all of a sudden you jump up to dunk, and someone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, that'd be wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. Not to, talk about another men's anatomy for so long. I don't know why I did, but you know what I mean. That's just the funny stories. But Shaq used to jump out, always play pranks on, like, somebody in the facility, like a ball boy or staff, and he would jump out butt naked and wrestle a motherfucker to the ground and shit. Like, that's borderline kind of suspect, but at the same time, when it's Shaq, you don't fucking... If you see that shit, you just keep walking.
That's the type of shit that gets you canceled now.
Yo, fuck, dude. You imagine that? God, there'd be
Anthony
a video.
Davis doing it.
Hollywood Unlocked or TMZ would have a video of it or a link, and oh, dude, yeah. LeBron, anybody in the league right now doing that would be fucking done. All your endorsements are gone.
Well, I mean, if you think about it,
Somebody would be like the rape culture. They'd be fucking crying rape.
Well, it's like Miles Leonard.
Oh, God.
From the Heat.
Oh, my.
How many... And I know what he said was fucked up.
Fuck, yeah. And then we're not going to repeat the word.
That's if you want to see it, you can look...
It's derogatory towards Jewish people, and it rhymes with kite. Like you fly a kite. It rhymes with... It sounds similar to that. We're not saying the word.
But imagine back early 2000s, 90s...
Well, you wouldn't be streaming, but yes.
Imagine how many... Any player have said
worse,
racial slurs, anything.
Yeah, homophobic.
But in this day and age, and I didn't say I'm not saying it was
then
right
it was
back
wrong
then.
Too. Back then it was wrong
it's
too.
Definitely not right now because I seen the clip and I was like, and I streamed myself, and I'm like, bro,
he said that shit with conviction.
Like he said it, like he said it, like he says it on the radio,
and like he really has something against the Jewish community.
And
yes, you're a streamer yourself, a gamer.
But when you're live, even if when I'm live to like 5 people, because shit, there ain't nobody watching me.
You never know who's recording, but yeah,
you just don't say that shit. I mean, I don't personally run around saying that shit when I'm not live.
Life, yeah.
I don't remember I don't remember if I've ever used that word that he used.
I don't know. Anyway, but yeah.
I know what it means. I've heard it, but I'm just saying, like, in this day and age, things is so much different.
Yeah.
Like, Shaq could get away with that stuff.
Yeah,
you can't get away with that stuff now.
100%.
You're telling me that back in the early 90s, there wasn't players dropping the N-word in the NBA?
Sure, bro.
Or 80s?
Yeah.
And getting away with it?
In 60s when it was predominantly white?
Yeah, you telling me that those words weren't thrown around? Now, and again, not okay. If someone was to use it, they're about to get crucified to the end of the earth.
Well, he's out indefinitely right now. He's suspended indefinitely.
Without pay.
Without pay. And he had to meet up with who was the other celebrity that said derogatory remark towards Jews? Nick Cannon. And there was another one. Yeah, Nick Cannon. That's why his show got shut down. He was talking about Jews on his podcast, saying how they run the world and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into it. If you want to see it, you guys can go on his stuff.
I don't even know Nick Cannon.
Shout out to Nick Cannon. Besides that, like, I don't agree with that, but I'm not here to talk bad and hate on him. But there's been a couple celebrities that have said derogatory stuff towards Jewish people, and they've got there's somebody, I don't know how you would put it into words, but they had to meet up with the Council of Jews and have a meeting with them, and they took.
Is it like when Morgan Wallen dropped the N-word and the NAACP reached out type of thing and
took
said,
him to like the Slavery Museum or something like that? Same exact thing, but they went and seen the Holocaust Museum and they to tell them, hey, like, this is why. This
tried
is
to instead of crucifying them, they're trying to teach them.
Crucifying is a bad word to use in that situation, but you know what I mean.
They tried to teach him.
Yeah, teaching him why it's derogatory.
Yeah,
teaching him to have to feel himself that it's not a good word to say instead of just telling him it's not.
Yeah, because I mean, you could talk to someone until you're blue in the face, but
but if you show them and it does something to their heart,
emotion gets everything.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you can just provoke a little emotion,
or
you'll get a buy-in.
Educate.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is, even in schools, if you can get a kid to emotionally connect to something, they're going to learn it a lot better.
Absolutely.
And so, I mean,
That Morgan Wallen that was a country singer, right?
Yeah, he's the country singer who
that got caught on the neighbor's surveillance camera.
The dude across the way
saying it with an A, a G-A, not the hard ER.
Caught him across the.
Getting out, he was trash. It was like 3 a.m. They were coming back from partying, him and his friends, dropping him off, and he got out and said something to the effect of, "All right, I'm not gonna say it with the GA, not an ER. Not saying that it was right for him to say it, but it wasn't derogatory, like a racial. It was like my guy, But
yeah, he said make sure you get this motherfucking
NIGGA
home.
Yeah,
and I've seen multiple black people come out and say
it, but it wasn't that bad.
Come out and be like, really? Yeah. That's what y'all want to hate on?
Like they canceled him. He lost contracts and endorsements.
Dude, they were like, dude, really? Like, he's like, they say that we say this all the time. He's talking to his homeboy.
Yeah.
He didn't say it to a black friend.
Or about a black person.
He said there was no hatred in guy's voice.
Yeah. And again, I'm not saying he should have. I'm
gonna die on this hill, though. Maybe he shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
But dude across the street should have minded his own goddamn business.
Yeah.
And deleted the Ring camera.
Or not even deleted. Just let it play out. What the fuck? Like
you gotta sell that shit for a quick buck.
Yeah.
Because your neighbor across the street is making money.
Yeah.
Singing songs.
Yeah.
And he happens to be drunk and drop the A at the end of the word.
Yeah. And again,
to one of his
not
friends.
saying that he should have, but people do a lot worse shit when they're drunk.
Yeah, and like
we've done a lot. Fuck, man.
You're telling me like you couldn't have been the neighbor and like what are you mad? He came home at 3 a.m. drunk as shit and was
you
a
could have
little
went over
loud.
and talked to him or whatever. Fuck it, leave it alone.
Like if my neighbor across the street was like came home screeching into their front yard at 3 a.m. You know what I'm gonna do?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be like, damn, bitch, you got sideways?
You're right.
Okay, cool.
How do you get in a fight?
I might even be like, hey, you want this video?
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna be like.
At the most, I might leave my head up the door and be like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I ain't gonna call the police or TMZ and be like, hey, check this drunk driver screeching into the neighborhood.
Right. Like, hey, country star, I can't even say stars, country singer said this, that, and the third. Like, whatever. Just like when they brought up Kevin Hart's what they called homophobic tweets and tried canceling him, and then he was supposed to host the Oscars, and then they canceled him off that because he tweeted about a joke about his son acting homosexual, and I'm doing air quotes right here, 10-15 years before he even became a celebrity. Like, bro, like you can't do shit. Imagine if we ever ran for office, me or you, or fuck whatever, became a celebrity. We would be fucked. They'd be like, oh, like this podcast, if it were to take off and, oh, they're making $100 an episode? Oh, canceled. Like, I got news on this, guys. Like, come on.
Well, yeah, it's like that. I saw a meme the other day that said if anybody would have recorded
half the shit we did,
the old, like, Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty shit that was said, nobody would have a job.
Well, there's a foreign player that told ESPN that he learned a lot of his English from watching sitcoms in his native country, but playing Call of Duty online. And, ESPN, I think, they tweeted that he learned how to speak English a lot from playing Call of Duty online. And somebody commented, it was hella funny, said, great, he's going to bang a 3 and say the N-word with a hard ER. Like, you learn English from Call of Duty.
Yeah,
it's going to be some bad shit.
No, it happens. But if we're moving forward...
Rick, hold on, let's talk about who you got for MVP this season for the NBA. I think, I don't know. Steph is probably going to win scoring title.
I just feel like
his team isn't doing enough for him to get that nod, do you think?
That's a tough thing, because in my eyes...
An MVP should be solely off his independent play, but it still goes off their team record and shit.
I don't think it should go off of team record.
Yeah, it shouldn't. It should be MVP.
I think it should go off of two things. Their stats, obviously. Mm-hmm. And secondly, how much they bring to said team.
Oh, yeah.
So if your team's not doing great, say you're a middle-of-the-pack team, but if you weren't on that team, they would be dead last, I still think you should have the ability to win MVP.
That's Steph right now.
Because you're telling me if Steph was removed from the Warriors, that's what you're saying. So, like, let's say LeBron's not on the Lakers. Mm-hmm. The Lakers would still do all right.
Yeah.
Obviously not as good.
Yeah.
But all right.
Yeah.
But if you remove Steph from the Warriors right now, what do they got?
Belly up. They're belly up.
That's what I'm saying.
We're a game over 500 right now, I believe.
With Steph.
With Steph. Without Steph, because we're 33 and 32 or something like that. Without Steph, we're 15 and 45?
That's what I'm saying. So to me, that should be able to tell you what an MVP is.
But who can you think of off the top of your head that would be who's in the running for it?
I don't know.
Who stood out to you? No.
I honestly couldn't tell you. I was going to say that I think Steph should win it. Mm-hmm. Do I think he's going to win it?
Who knows? The NBA, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think he might, though, because everybody's seeing, what he's been doing. Dude, he went 9 games in a row with 40 points or more. The most in the NBA since, like, Kobe, I think.
Did you... Westbrook is the
first
player.
Yeah, the double-doubles or triple-doubles. Oh, my God.
No, so I think it's in 2 games. Mm-hmm. It's either 2 or 3. It might be 3 games. He's the only player all time to ever have 50 assists and 50 rebounds.
Oh, yeah.
Between 2 games.
Well, he just got 30-something or 24 assists and, like, 15 rebounds and, obviously double-digit points a couple games ago.
Yeah, and so it was something like that where it was like... So
look, this is Steph right now. He's averaging 31.6 points per game, most in the league. 5.5 rebounds. The guy's 6'3" in the NBA where the average size is 6'5", 6'6". 5.5 rebounds, 5.8 assists. So he's 67th in rebounds, 26th in assists, and 7th in... What's PER?
PER?
Yeah. I don't know what that is. But he's at 26.32.
I think it's...
Like points he's responsible for, almost? I
think it has to do with, like, his numbers, like, how his team plays when he's on the court. I believe that's what PER is.
What he's responsible for.
You know what's crazy? I pulled up real fast the MVP... Running?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a guess. What number do you think... NBA.com has him ranked?
Probably 5.
Lower.
Shut up.
7th is where they have Steph. Do you want to know the
That's
6 above him?
Disrespectful. Yes, absolutely. So I can get
number 1, who is continually number 1 ranking. He was number 1 last week and this week.
Is it?
Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
He's actually almost averaging a dub.
Yeah. Okay. That makes
20, almost 27 points.
The Joker, yeah.
11 rebounds and 8.5 assists.
Okay, yeah. I can't be mad at that. Okay.
So that's 1.
Okay, so yeah, Steph probably isn't going to win it.
Number 2, who was last week's number 2.
Embiid.
Joel Embiid.
What's his numbers?
Almost 30 points a game.
Okay.
11 rebounds. 3 assists, a steal, and a block and a half.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'll eat my words.
Number 3 is big boy Giannis.
Always.
28.5 points.
Antetokounmpo or whatever.
11 rebounds and 6 assists.
Yeah. You notice that these guys are all bigs?
Here we go. This guy, been around the league forever.
I fucking hate him.
CP3.
Oh, please.
He's number 4.
I can't stand
And I don't even see the once you hear the numbers.
I can't stand him, and 90% of the NBA players cannot stand him.
Once you hear the numbers, listen to his numbers.
Oh god.
16.2 points.
What?
4.5 rebounds a game. I mean, for a point guard, 4.5. I mean, that. 8.8 assists. And 1.5 steals.
How the fuck is he above Steph?
4th. That puts him in 4th.
How's he... Bruh.
5th place. And this is what makes me laugh, because I already knew who was in 5th. Listen to the 5th places. Luka Doncic's numbers. 28.5 points a game.
Okay.
8.1 rebound. 8.9 assists.
And he's behind Chris Paul.
Yeah.
Chris Crybaby Paul.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, dude. That's why NBA.com is a joke. Look, we get big. If we get big, I'm getting canceled for my Chris Paul and NBA.com.
So 6th is Dame Dollar.
Okay, yes, Dame deserves he's so underrated as a player.
Oh, 100%. I said he did forever. But they don't tell his stats. They only show they only show the top 5.
Oh, okay.
Because the article that I'm looking at is the top 5, and these are just the next 5. And so
got you.
Dame Dollar, Steph, Rudy Gobert.
Damian Lillard is Dame Dollar, by the way.
Devin Booker and Julius Randle, who that motherfucker.
He's a single player for the Knicks. Yes.
This motherfucker. All of a sudden, like, he was on the Lakers, and he's like, bro, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool. He gets on the Knicks. This motherfucker must have taken some HGH and just banged it right.
It's his time to shine, though. When he's the
I've always been happy with Julius. I really like
Julius Randle. But look, when he's with the Lakers, you're on a team that you don't get shine. Even if you have a fucking career game, you're still fucking in the shadows of all these AD, LeBron, obviously, Caruso. That motherfucker went bald, like, he never grew hair after birth, huh? But, like, he's at the same... Anyways, like, I like Caruso, don't get me wrong. But damn, bro, just shave it all off or go get the Tiger treatment and get your hairline fixed. Anyways.
The LeBron treatment?
Hey. Well, LeBron still looks like shit. You see that for Space Jam 2, whatever. They doctored the fuck out of it. That's how you know it's
LeBron's hair guy.
Movie. That's how you know it's part cartoon movie because he's got a full head of hair. LeBron, because you're what 6'7", 6'8", or whatever. You think people can't see the top of your head? Do you forget there's fucking aerial cameras in stadiums? Like, bro, just put a yarmulke on to cover that bald spot back there.
Speaking of LeBron in the NBA, I think this is a big thing he's been complaining about.
He complains about everything and flops over play.
Is that play-in tournament? He's been big against that.
The what?
The play-in tournament for playoffs.
Why?
He's been big against it. And
because he's been fucking buying super teams, like building super teams.
He just thinks it's dumb.
Well, yeah, but when he was with Cleveland, he would have loved it when they were doing shit. Come on now, you can't have both ways, LeBron.
LeBron, and the next guy who's really against it is kind of funny, Mark Cuban. Both teams could.
Cuban's got something to say about everything too, though.
The crazy thing is,
his team wins it.
Well, Mark Cuban, they may be in it, and the Lakers possibly are going to be into it. But the crazy thing is, when this new rule came up for vote, in the NBA, I think it has to be a 60% owner vote.
Okay. Well, I know
guess how many owners?
2/3.
Guess how many? Okay, so it could be 66.
66.6. Yeah.
So guess how many owners voted yes on this play-in tournament?
I have no idea.
100% of NBA owners voted.
Mark Cuban voted yes.
Yeah, he did.
What the fuck?
But Luka came out saying he didn't like it. And then guess who came out shortly after saying he thought it was dumb?
The owner of Luka's team. Just like if Dirk was still in the league and said, well, I don't like this. Oh, yeah, neither do I,
Yeah, but so Mark Cuban, who voted yes on it, is now saying he doesn't like it.
He's backtracking. Oh, I didn't say that. Or I voted no. It was rigged.
And to be honest, I couldn't tell you whether I like it or not. You know why?
Because we haven't seen it yet.
Because I haven't seen it.
No.
Do I like the premise of it? Sure, it shakes it up a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
Because it's
just like MLB with the fucking the base runner rule in the league.
So for those of you that don't know, normally it's just seeds 1 through 8 on each side.
And the Eastern Conference and Western Conference. So there's there's 30 teams in the NBA. So there's 15 Western, 15 Eastern. And the best 8 from each side?
Yeah. They face off again. The West face off again, all the West in a bracket.
The first team plays the worst team. 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, and 4 plays 5.
Yeah.
Right? And then same thing on the West, or East and West do that. And then the winners of those
play each other for the championship.
Play each other for the Western Conference championship, and the East teams play each other for the Eastern Conference championship, and then the best 2, the teams that are left standing or whatnot. Oh no, that would be the second round. Third round would be the championship.
Yeah.
The ones left standing play in the NBA, and so you can never have an Eastern, just like the NFL, just like every league right now. You can never have an Eastern Conference play another Eastern Conference team in the Super Bowl, the Finals, the World Series. Yeah. You can't have a Western team play the Western team.
And that's been something the NBA's almost voted on.
Yeah.
And I'd be all for it.
Yeah, it should.
top 16.
Yes, no
Doesn't
matter what
conferences.
conference.
Boom, 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 boom.
If it's 14 Western Conference and 2 Eastern Conference, oh well. Because
I mean, to be honest, if you look at it, it
Western
probably would be
yeah.
10 Western and 6 Eastern.
And you know what's crazy is like the NFL, and I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, as you know. And even my division, my conference, the NFC East, like it's sad to see a team get in that has a losing record to the playoffs when you have a team that's 12-4, but they don't make the playoffs because the other 3 teams in the division were 13-3 and higher.
Yeah,
but they're a 12-4 record, and there's a team that squeaks in like that year that the NFC South. What, is that the one with the Saints, the Panthers, the Falcons, and one other team? The team that made it in from that conference was a 5-9 team. They won 5 games and lost 9, and there was a team that had won 11 and lost 5 that didn't make it because of how the rules are set up. It's dumb. If you don't know anything about it, that doesn't explain a lot, but just know it's stupid. I know it's a hard transition, but we got to talk about Mayweather versus Logan Paul and Jake Paul. Floyd Mayweather. First off, this motherfucker grew his hair. Floyd Mayweather, always been bald and baby face or a little goatee, grew a full head of hair and a full beard, and he looks homeless. He looks homeless, and
you know how many fucks he gives though?
Oh no, you know how many fucks he gets? A lot. But
you know what? He gives as many fucks as he has losses.
Yeah. Oh.
0.
Yeah.
0.
I don't know. Oscar De La Hoya whipped his ass back in the day. Oscar De La Hoya whipped that. I mean,
the cards say undefeated.
Yeah. Well, Oscar, did you see that fight? Oscar De La Hoya fucked him up and he got robbed. But did you? So the clip of him going after Jake Paul in the what would you call that? The alleys of the stadium or whatever that would be called. Where you walk through the staff.
The tunnels.
The tunnels. He sounded homeless. This motherfucker.
Because you know what he's been doing this whole time?
Probably smoking cigars.
Yeah. And doing
whatever. Yeah.
Paying money to random. Not even pay. You know what? You don't even have to pay.
No.
But he probably sleeping with some
top notch. I don't know.
I don't know about top notch.
He did go for T.I.'s wife. Anyways, we're gonna leave that for another day. But so. Anyways, besides the looks, I'm not the best looking guy myself. I put on some weight. But him and Logan Paul have scheduled a boxing match. But he's going to schedule Mayweather is going to schedule as many boxing matches as he can for money grabs. Because it's big money. But none of these boxing matches, they're sanctioned, but they do not hit his record. That's one of his stipulations. They don't affect his record. So him fighting McGregor had to get licensed as a professional boxer. It was professionally sanctioned, but it
was considered an exhibition.
Yes.
It's like that Mike Tyson
and oh my God, Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah, that fight.
Exhibition. So
there's no winner declared.
Yeah. Well, no. With this one, there is a winner, but it doesn't affect his record. So I don't know if that's how it was with Conor, because you see Conor's whole he went off on Twitter talking about how Mayweather was a bum and he won't fight anybody that will affect his record, whether it's positive or negative. I'm like, Conor, all right, you did your best, but you can't call him a bum. He was saying he was calling him a bum about taking this Logan Paul fighting a YouTuber, because he was like, professional fighter, and this is McGregor, professional fighter to professional fighter, that's a bum move. Fight another professional. Conor McGregor did have to get his professional license, but he's a professional fighter in MMA, he's a champion, Logan Paul, yes, he had to get his boxing license, but I wouldn't call him professional. He fought KSI. Jake Paul fought KSI, fought a 40-year-old almost Nate Robinson, who's 5'8". Yes, he was a great athlete, but
not a boxer.
He's not a boxer. And Jake Paul had been training for 4 or 5 years.
Again, the guy he just beat. Not a boxer.
No, he was a wrestler, though.
Wrestler.
But he was an MMA fighter. But a freaking ridiculously
phenomenal
good wrestler. Never, even in MMA, was not known for hands. Was not known for his stand-up game.
And so, but what you're telling me is, and this is my thing, I think Floyd runs from fights until he's ready.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just throw that out there. They waited to fight.
They both ran.
They both ran and waited to fight till they both were not in their prime.
And just
I wanted to see them fucking fight in their prime, whatever. That's another story. But do I want to see Floyd knock the fuck out of a non-boxer who thinks he's hot shit because he beat non-boxers?
Well, yeah, but that's not even... He's fighting that person's older brother. You're talking about Jake Paul, and please believe, but he's fighting Logan Paul. But at the press conference where they squared off and talked shit to each other, the stage, Jake Paul was out there with his cronies, and if you've seen the clips, Mayweather's doing his shit talking about Logan. Jake Paul reaches up on stage and unties Mayweather's shoe. It's like, now your shoe's untied. Just pulling this kid shit. It's like he's a Tekashi 6ix9ine of YouTubers, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then when they go face to face in the tunnels, and he's like, set it up. And he's like, yeah, we can set it up. He was like, he took his hat off his head. Got your hat. 2 hours later, posted a picture on IG with a tattoo right above his knee of like an outline of a hat. And the caption, got your hat, under it. Jake Paul. Like, he's a fucking troll. I want to see it set up with him and Mayweather. And I want to see Mayweather bust his fucking ass.
What I want Mayweather to bust Logan.
Yep.
And then bust his brother.
Mm-hmm.
And just be done with it.
I'm not even a Mayweather fan like that.
I really could.
Care, give a fuck less.
Whatever.
But that's where it goes back to Jake Paul knows what he's doing. In a sense, this is like...
What's that saying?
All publicity is good publicity.
Exactly.
Whether you love or hate Jake Paul, you're going to buy that motherfucking pay-per-view. Most people are. Some people. To watch him watch him get... Yeah, we're going to... we'll watch him. And that's what Conor McGregor said. People aren't going to buy the pay-per-view. They're going to watch it on fucking Twitter. Like, after the fact, And that's what I do when I don't care about the fighters. I find it on YouTube. Find the clip of the best part of it, But a lot of people, a lot of people are going to pay to watch. Hope he gets his ass whipped. Or they're Jake Paul fans because they're part of this fucking, generation fucked that, the ones that go sheesh and all that shit.
I just think... At this point, the Paul brothers...
They ran their course on YouTube. This is all they have.
That wasn't what I was going to say. I mean, you're not wrong. But what I was saying is they're finding guys. Mm-hmm. Nate Robinson. Probably close to running out of money.
Yeah.
Had a career in the NBA.
Or other sports.
But he didn't make... Like, he made money. He made way more than I'm making.
Nate Robinson?
Yeah.
He made a good amount. He doesn't need the money, but it was a good payday.
But that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have a ton of free-flowing cash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he used to.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys, and I'm not saying that's what happened with Nate Robinson, he realizes I don't have enough money to live my lifestyle.
Yeah, because he's a big car fanatic and shit.
Till the day I die.
Yeah, and my kids be okay.
So he said, I can fight. He said I can fight for $40 million?
I believe it was 40, yeah.
Or whatever it is. I could
lose?
I could get beat up. Because you telling me they didn't pay him.
Oh, yeah, no, they paid. The contract was...
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying... So
he goes to step in the ring.
He said, if I go in there, I don't even have to be good.
Yeah.
I have to step in the ring. Shit. Hey, Jake, Logan. I trained MMA for a couple years. Hit my line, bro. Yeah. I'll jump in the ring for $100,000 right now. Get knocked in the mouth.
Right.
Well, knocked it. Hey, I swing it a couple times. But
you know what I would do? I'd pick the motherfucker up and dip him on his head. Disqualified. Well, pay me, motherfucker. I'm out.
Bet. I don't even have.
Don't sell yourself short. Not $100,000.
I'll fuck $100,000.
$101,000. Come on now.
$100,000 right now. I get in there. You bat, do your thing.
Yeah, I'll stand there with my hands behind my back.
But I feel like that's what Nate did, and that's what the MMA fighter did.
I don't even know his name.
I can't think of his name.
Off the top of my head.
But that wrestler, I feel like, because that guy, he wasn't that great of an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And MMA fighters now
don't transition to boxing that well.
Well, MMA fighters now are starting to get paid a little bit better.
Yeah.
But back in the day, even a few years ago,
just like we talked about hockey last episode,
Anderson Silva
was the highest
used to make more money off of his endorsements than he would a purse in a match.
Yeah, win or lose. Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's like Conor McGregor. He was the the best paid MMA fighter when he was fighting MMA, and still went to boxing because he got like $100 million purse. And he lost. He got $100 million. If he would have won, the purse would have been almost double. But he was only making for him, and he was the highest paid fighter in the MMA in the history of it, and he was only making fucking $6 million a fight to win.
And I love watching me some MMA. But would you rather get hit with a boxing glove?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 12 ounce to fucking 4 ounce, and have the chance of being kicked with no padding on their feet, kneed. Fucking choke
in a boxing ring, you have two things to worry about: his right hand and his left hand. Yeah. That's it.
Or if you're fighting Tyson, your ears, his mouth. No.
Vander Holyfield, my bad, homie.
Vander the real meal.
But for real, you have his left hand and his right hand. Like legal in legal boxing, that's all you have to worry about.
Yeah.
In MMA, in the standing position.
Plethora.
You have left, right hand, elbows, fucking knees, feet, legs, shins, fucking. You got all this shit to think about.
Well, no, you can't headbutt.
No, you can't headbutt. But that's just the standing part of it.
Yeah.
When you're on the ground, not only do you have to worry about being kicked, you can't elbow.
Knee.
You can elbow when you're on the ground. But you can't 12-6, which is straight up and down.
Yeah, you can't drop elbows. You can throw elbows.
You can throw, but the amount of things you have to think about.
Choked, arm snapped, leg snapped.
Is just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that they can fucking even, do it and do it well.
And the sport's legal.
It's different.
Yeah, it really is.
And that's the thing is so that's why I don't see how... And I'm not taking anything away from boxing because boxing is chess. Boxing is a chess match.
Yeah.
But how is the difference? $100 million for an L.
Yeah.
Or let's say $10 million
for a W.
To win a championship belt.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. It's
crazy. Back to my point. Wrestler, you know that motherfucker ain't got much money left.
No, not at all.
They come to him and say, "Hey, bro. We know you're a professional MMA fighter.
Yeah.
You've won some shit.
Yeah, you've
won
great
some highlights.
You're respected.
You're well respected.
Yeah.
How much would it take for you to take the L?"
Yeah, do you think they're paying for the L's? Do you think they're paying them off? Or you think they're just paying them to get in the ring and then, and the person's not that good?
See, I don't know if Nate, from what I've watching his NBA career and just watching his athletic
I think
career,
he's got too much pride.
He has too much pride.
Yeah, yeah.
The other guy, I haven't watched enough of him to know whether or not he has too much pride just to get paid for that.
I don't even know.
Me? I ain't got no pride, homie. Like I said, Paul Brothers bang the line.
Yeah.
381-334-8004.
Oh, my God. Big Mo. It's stupid.
Bang the line. Hit me up.
Right. Just
I'll get knocked out for $100,000.
Message us on Anchor or
hit us on the Gmail.
Big and Blizz podcast at gmail.com. Hit us on YouTube comments. I mean, you guys are YouTubers.
Yeah, hit us up.
Shit. Get in with Mike, and I'll get in right after. You don't even have to fucking change. The same gloves.
Hey, who you want, Logan or Jake? On the same card. On the same card.
Both stand in the ring and fight him at the same time. Shit.
I'll be like this.
For all.
You ever seen a glass jaw? Like I'll hit up LeBron and say, "Hey, I need some acting real fast." Glove won't even touch me, and I'll be like,
"You've heard of glass jaw? Check out. This is the Fabergé jaw.
Like legit. I'll literally
paper mache.
I'll be like this. I'll be dodging. He'll miss me by like 6 inches, and I'll be like, just go to
snoring before you hit the canvas and shit. You stupid. Like fuck. Bang my line for $100,000. I'll knock Mike out right now in the studio. Shut up, Mike. I'll give you $20,000. I'll give you $20,000.
Hey, $20,000? Cool.
Anyways, what do you think's gonna happen with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers? They're not handling you well. I'm reading that they're not handling you well at all. The organization.
His thing is
he's been disrespected, bro.
Oh,
they've treated him like a fucking third string quarterback.
Tell me they didn't disrespect Brett Favre too, though.
Oh, 100%. Well, that's what happens when you're the only publicly owned team in the NFL. The fans own that team.
100%.
They don't have an owner to. Well, just like the Texans. The owners might as well not have owners. They had Bill O'Brien as a coach and the GM, and this motherfucker couldn't coach his way out of fucking like we were better coaches in our kids' fucking elementary league, you know? Like, fuck out of here. But anyways, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying is, I've heard his ultimatum is trade or retire.
Yeah. I don't think that sucks.
But my thing is, do you think Aaron Rodgers walks away if they don't trade him?
I think he's got a lot of love for the game left. I don't think you can. That if
this kid came up with nothing, like nobody wanted him.
Yep.
He went to Butte Community College.
Worked his way up to freaking Cal State,
and then went over to Cal.
And broke his record. He broke records at every school he went to. Did
his thing. You think
was promised to be drafted by his team that he lives next to, the 49ers, where he grew up in this area.
You're telling me that he is just going to retire?
I don't see it. No, I don't. He's got too much in his tank, too much left, bro.
But to his chagrin, or whatever you want to call it.
Never heard that word. That's a big word.
You need weapons, right?
They don't do it for him, bro.
He needs weapons.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? And I understand Packers did well last year. They don't have a terribly high pick.
No.
29th is where they picked. Do you think they got him a weapon in the first round?
No, absolutely not. They didn't last year. They got him a replacement.
You know who they took in the first round?
I don't.
A defensive player. Instead of getting him a weapon. In the second round, do you think they got him a weapon? Nope, they got him an offensive lineman.
Something to help block, but no.
They waited till the third round to take a weapon.
Who was it?
Amari Rodgers from Clemson.
Which is receiver?
Receiver, yeah, he got a receiver. And I don't know much about him. I'm going to click this dude real fast, but they waited till the third round to get him a weapon.
They've always done that to him, bro.
Oh, God, this guy tiny, too. 5'9"?
The fuck? He should be on the other side of the ball as a corner.
5'9".
Oh, my God.
Hey, much respect to the D1 guy.
Hey, much respect to somebody who made it as a wide receiver all the way through D1 college and the NFL.
Came back from an ACL tear in 166 days. Respect,
Shut the fuck up.
Respect.
What is that, like 6 months? 7 months?
So if you if you just do 30, it's what is it? It's not 9.
8 months.
Like 7, 8 months.
Okay, that's what it took Adrian Peterson with NFL trainers.
Dang. Ugh. That's
savage, bro. And a wide receiver.
Hey, bro.
You got to break and make cuts.
Respect.
Yeah.
So his weaknesses would be inconsistent vertical push.
Well, he's only 5'9", but yeah.
Needs to prove he can deal with an NFL press. Yeah, because these corners in the league are big dudes.
Yeah.
When you 5'9", average foot agility in and out of breaks, short arms.
He's 5'9". What do you expect his wingspan to be? Fucking 7 feet?
He has a loss of catch concentration.
So wait, how the fuck did he get drafted? This is like everything you're mentioning is damn near negative. It is negative.
Well, I'm reading out of his weaknesses.
Gotcha.
Needs to keep working on finding soft spots in the zone.
Yeah.
For quarterbacks. It says very strong with his compact body. I'll give dude this. He's a fucking workhorse. If you can come back 166 days,
100%.
From an ACL and you're back, and you get drafted. Hey, respect, homie.
Well, yeah, you obviously had to prove something to get drafted.
Yeah. I mean, for all we know, dude could end up being Rookie of the Year, the biggest target Aaron Rodgers has seen since fucking.
Yeah, he could be the next Jerry Rice for all we know. You know, there's been sleepers that make it big. You know, Jerry Rice was a sleeper in Division II college.
I mean, Tom Brady. What was he?
Seventh
round.
Russell Wilson, fucking Richard Sherman. They play with the chip on their shoulder. Not saying that he's going to play with the chip on his shoulder because he's third round. That's still good. First, second day, but with his size, he might play with the chip on his shoulder.
And I read this thing the other day that said the reason guys like Tom Brady and Jordan always are good, even when they've already hit. Like, because you think about it, Tom Brady, if he's not your GOAT, he's got to be top 3.
Yeah, you love him or hate him, you've got to give him that respect. Put some respect on his name.
Same thing with Jordan.
No,
if he's not your GOAT, he's top 2, top 3.
And what I've heard from, like, what I've seen is that he's an asshole in person.
But the one thing that all these guys have in common is that they always make up shit to make themselves feel like the underdog.
Like Jordan
made up feuds with people that he admits to this day that weren't even real.
Yeah, the documentary, I can't remember what he said, or the person said talk shit to him.
But I guess Tom does the same thing.
I didn't know that.
Tom does the same thing where he makes up these little things that makes him still feel like that underdog, that 7th round pick. And it doesn't matter how many Super Bowls he wins, that's how he gets himself
They all hate me.
That's his whole mentality.
He looks up on YouTube, Tom Brady, fuck him, keywords, and watches every podcast or sports show that says, oh, Tommy's not shit.
And there's coaches, that's what they say, don't give him any whiteboard material. And what they mean by that is, don't say shit during the week that they can put up on the whiteboard in the fucking locker room to make them hate you anymore.
Yep.
And that's the thing, is Tom Brady, he don't need whiteboard material. That motherfucker make up his own whiteboard material.
Because he's white bread.
And then Jordan don't need whiteboard material because guess what? He thinks you already talk shit about his mama. Because you know what? He told himself you talk shit about his mama. And you know what? He loves his mama.
And I'd be pissed too. If anybody's going to talk shit about my mom, it's going to be me.
And that's the thing. That's what these guys do. And there's an article the other day that the guys, like the great players, that's what they do. They make themselves feel like the underdog.
Can you imagine Wayne Gretzky?
Just being like, I fucking blow, dude.
Wayne Gretzky.
I can't hit a shot.
He hit me with the stick and didn't say sorry. I'm booked to whip his ass. But, but also with Brady, I watched this whole thing about his, not the TB12 series that he had, but somebody explained it like it was science shit. It wasn't scientists, but they were saying that the older you get, your body breaks down, but your mind gets more knowledgeable. Because obviously the older you get, the more you learn. But the problem is, your body breaks down. So athletes, they know more on the ins and outs and the playbooks and how to read defenses or whatever sport it is, but their body doesn't adjust in that way. It doesn't show. It breaks down while the mind's getting stronger. Well, Tom Brady and his trainer, his partner for TB12, developed all these different methods and diets that keep your body from breaking down as fast as a normal person. So while his mind is, 43 now? His mind is probably the best it's ever been from what he said. His body is still really fucking good. And that's why he says he can play till 50. And who knows, he might hit 50 and have fucking, because he's been to 10 and won 7, he might be at 15 and 13 by that time. And 50 might come around, he might say, fuck, I think I can go another year. Think about that.
Well, yeah.
He's signed a 2-year contract. He'll be 45 when that's up. And he'll probably have another ring. Or at least have gone to the show or the dance again. So this TB12 treatment is something that's tried and true and works. His mind's getting stronger in his own because of all the shit he goes through.
Yeah.
And age, you mature. His body's supposed to be breaking down at the same level his mind's getting stronger, but his body's breaking down at like half that level, which is fucking nuts, dude.
Well, it's like Ray Lewis. Yeah, the quote said something like this when he was later in his career and he was slowing down physically.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
But mentally, he said, you know what? I may be slower than you, but my mind, I'm going to be where you're going before you're going to be there. Yeah. Because my mind makes me get there.
Telling me no, but no, we're gonna get.
but he's
no,
like,
fuck R. Kelly. By the way, PSA, fuck R. Kelly. I'm sorry, that just came out. Like, yeah,
but yeah, he's like, shit. His brain was so far ahead of everybody.
Yeah.
That imagine him if he could have made his body last a few more years.
If he could have used the TB12 treatment.
And the difference is linebacker, quarterback.
100%. But the TB12 treatment would have helped him a little bit.
Yeah.
What that antler spray did. Hey, was it leave on time? Anyways, but I know we got to close out. We've probably been on for over an hour, but some notable stuff to mention. Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, turned 90 years old yesterday. For any of you that don't know who Willie Mays, aka the Say Hey Kid, is, he is a MLB, a baseball legend, Hall of Famer. Went to 24 All-Star games. Played for the New York Giants, which transitioned over into the San Francisco Giants baseball team, and almost his whole career, and then went and played for the New York Mets for 2 years. Is that what we read? 2 years?
2 or 3 years to end it off, yeah.
But 90 years old. He's one of the black athletes that really revolutionized the game when we were still, our country was still going through a lot of racist bullshit and segregation. Obviously, Jackie Robinson is the most popular in that sense, but Willie Mays was right there in the forefront and was one of the black athletes to really revolutionize not only his sport, but sports in general. So, happy birthday, happy belated birthday to Willie Mays. Yesterday was his birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. And then, don't forget about this, 19 years ago today, our boy, AI, didn't want to go to fucking practice.
Practice?
Practice.
We're talking about practice?
When you're AI good, you ain't got to go to practice.
Not even the game? Talking about practice?
Yeah.
Not even the practice? But the story behind that, though, his friend had just been murdered, and the reporter was chewing him out, like really getting on him tough about not going to practice. That's where the rant came from. But yeah, not even the finals. Practice?
Yeah. Don't need practice unless you're Kobe. And then you practice way too fucking much.
Signing off, y'all. Till next week, I'm Blizz, and that's
Big.
And this is the Big and Blizz podcast. Peace.